To order. Welcome everyone to the regular meeting of the Novi Board of Education. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, and if I can have a roll call, Mr. Mena.
Trustee Cook.
Here.
Trustee Hood.
Here.
Trustee Mena is here. Trustee Murphy.
Here.
Trustee Roney.
Here.
Trustee Ruskin.
Here.
Trustee Smith.
Here.
All right.
We can all rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I can request approval of the agenda for tonight.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Mrs. Murphy and supported by Mr. Cook. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And next we have our student board member report. So we're happy to have you here. And take it away. If you can introduce yourself and what grade you're in, that would
My
be
name
great.
is Michelle Swami, and I'm a 7th grader at Novi Middle School, and I'm glad to explain what our schools have done so far. The MSPTO is sponsoring a reading incentive program. With help from our PTO, we are starting a reading incentive program because we want to encourage reading. It's super easy. Whenever you finish a grade level book, not a book that's below your grade reading level, you tell your ELA teacher. They will ask you what book you read and if you liked it. At the end of each month, 5 7th grade names and 5 8th grade names will be drawn from the box, and the winners will each win a $10 gift card. The middle school science Olympiad is up and running. We currently have a maximum allowed of 45 students placed on 3 teams. I attended the Michigan State Coaches Conference on Saturday. There was lots of learning that day. Our practices have begun, and we look forward to working hard until the competition on February 29, 2020. Students have started signing up for the spelling bee. The 2018 middle school winner will roll on to the Oakland County Spelling Bee and then go on to compete in the National Spelling Bee in Washington, D.C. We are starting a cricket club this upcoming spring at NMS. We currently have 80 students who have expressed interest. 9 middle school students are going to the Regional Science Fair at the TC Ed Center on March 11th. Their projects range from is the claw machine rigged to which paper airplane flies the farthest. Math Club is up and running at the middle school. 80 students will be accepted and are ready to compete with their math knowledge. Coding Club has also started. It is a student-run club, and they teach each other how to code using the latest technology. It was a power day today at the middle school. Students participated in class meetings, relay races, and scavenger hunts. It was a fun day. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
I was going to say, I'm so excited to hear about this cricket club. Playing cricket has been on my bucket list like forever.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to sneak in during one of the early practices. Maybe they'll let me take a couple swings and stuff. So make sure you track me down when you guys get started.
Sure.
Are you participating in the cricket club?
I might.
Yeah.
I'm
Mr.
so
Laney
lucky.
is coaching it. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Oh.
I think
Yep.
so.
Okay, well that's good then.
Well, I got a question. Power Day, is that the first Power Day you've done at the
Yeah,
middle school?
it is.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, neat idea. I like it. Well, thank you.
Well, great. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Next up is a report to the board. Mrs. Minnick.
Thank you, President Ruskin. The Novi Educational Foundation, the NEF, in partnership with the Novi Community School District, supports educational opportunities and program enhancements that help the district fulfill its vision of developing each student's potential with a world-class education. The NEF's annual fundraising efforts, including the Green Gala and the Golf Scramble, benefit our students, teachers, and schools through innovative educational grants, supporting teaching and learning in our classrooms, and significant support of the district's Leader in Me initiative. With us this evening is Mr. Jason Smith, Director of the NEF, and he will provide an update highlighting this year's grants and information about ongoing fundraising efforts, as well as notable sponsors. Jason?
Good evening and thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you for a few minutes. As a proud dad of an 8th grader at the middle school, first of all, I'd like to say thank you, Board of Ed trustees, for the time and the dedication that you provide on a daily basis to improve our district. We appreciate you this month and every month throughout the year. Good evening. My name is Jason Smith. I'm grateful to have the daily opportunity to serve our students as the Executive Director for the Novi Educational Foundation. The NEF was formed in 1986 to help fund opportunities that will develop each student's potential combined with a world-class Novi education. We are a student-focused organization dedicated to supporting our students' enrichment activities and educational programs through the use of funds beyond the district's capabilities. The first scholarship was established in 1996 thanks to a generous donation of $350,000 from the estate of Ruby First. That money was given to the Novi Community School District, and showing their support for the NEF, the Board of Ed at that time turned over the management of the funds to our foundation. Because of the commitment of our previous trustees, because of the vision of our current volunteer trustees, because of the dedication of Ellen Holverson, and because of the collaboration we have with the district and the administration, the NEF has grown and prospered. A lot of times I get asked the question, why is there a need for a school foundation? And my answer is very simple. Time and time again, Novi schools have been ranked as one of the top school districts in the state. But even top districts are affected by decisions that are made at a state level regarding finance. The money that we receive today is, if you include inflation, is less than what we received in the 1990s, but yet we're asked to do more and more for our students with less and less. So the fundraising efforts of the NEF are able to assist our schools by granting funds for those things that may go unfunded in our district. This includes funding pilot programs, purchasing pieces of equipment, allowing schools to bring unique and enriching program to our students, and so much more. Funds that are donated to the NEF greatly impact the quality of learning in our classrooms by giving teachers the ability to apply for funding that will support their students in their classrooms. As Jill said, our mission is to enrich the educational experience of each student by supporting opportunities that require financial assistance beyond the district's contributions. We support these in many different ways. We volunteer, we promote, we attend, and we direct funding. But let me be clear, it is not the NEF that actually funds the programs for our students. It is the supporters of the NEF who funds these programs. It is the parents, the teachers, the businesses, and the community members who financially support us that enrich our students' opportunities. They're the ones who fund the classroom grants. They're the ones who fund the district-wide programs. They are the ones who fund our student scholarships. Their support has funded hundreds of thousands of dollars since 1986. In the last 3 years alone, supporters of the NEF have put $115,000 back into our classrooms through 57 classroom grants and district-wide programs. In addition to that, another $58,000 to 32 graduating seniors to pursue their secondary education. This school year alone, our supporters have allowed us to welcome all new teachers into the district with a $50 bill for classroom supplies, send all of our kindergarten students to Tollgate Farms for a science field trip, continue funding for the Leader in Me initiative that affects all K through 6 students in our district, provide funding for Carol Lafferty to teach 2nd through 4th graders in our district mindfulness, 13 classroom grants so far, continued funding of the incubator class at the high school, and right now we're in collaboration with the Novi Youth Assistants and the middle school PTO to provide financial assistance for our 8th graders to attend the Washington, D.C. trip in November. This year we've also been able to establish 3 new scholarships that will reward $3,500 a year for the next 30 years. With great corporate partners this year, National Food Group, Community Financial Credit Union, Ameriprise Financial Tom Smith's office, Macy's, the Escape Room in Novi, the Japanese Moms Group, Printnology, Hino Motors, McCarthy and Smith, Imagine Theaters, Pulte Group, Dearborn Federal Credit Union, Great Lakes Furniture and Supply, almost done, Chartwells, EnviroClean, Interior Environments, the Senate in Northville, the 5th of Novi, M3 Investment Services, and soon to be many more. We're going to be able to make a big impact in our students' education and help the Novi Community School District remain #1 in the state of Michigan. And tonight, I am extremely excited to officially announce a new corporate partnership with the Bosch Community Foundation, with assistance from Dr. Weber, Mila Lee, Emily Polonsky, and Carly Musa. In late November, I applied for a grant. Recently, we were told that the grant of $59,883 was approved in full to build garden spaces, greenhouses, and the ability to harvest rainwater at all 5 elementary schools in the district. This is the largest grant the NEF has ever received. We're extremely excited and hopeful that the project will begin as soon as the weather allows. This project will help meet the new NGSS science standards, and there's also a lot of social and emotional health benefits to growing gardens. This is also going to continue to help the Rotary's Feed the Need program, as fruits and vegetables that are grown in these gardens will help families for years and years to come. So what is next for the foundation? In the next few months, teachers will have the opportunity to apply for our second round of classroom grants this year. We will be awarding scholarships to graduating seniors from Novi High School and the Career Prep High School. We will be selecting the NEF Suburban Collection Teacher of the Year, awarding them with a new car, compliments of Suburban. And again, I cannot say thank you enough to the businesses, the parents, and our teachers who contribute to the NEF to make these programs possible. We currently have 10 volunteer trustees who meet monthly to decide the funding and vision for the programs that affect our students. We also believe in the power of student voice, and we have a group of 17 students from Novi High School who also assist. So I'd be remiss to tell people how they can actually help the foundation. Number one, they can donate. We will always gladly accept donations on our website, novieducationalfoundation.org. They can call the NEF office and talk to me. They can talk to their employer about the possibility of a matching donation to a charity. We would also be honored to be the designee of a memorial gift or receive a percentage of an estate through a will or trust. Because without financial support, none of the programs that I've mentioned tonight would be possible. They could help us by becoming a NEF trustee or volunteer. While PTOs raise money for specific schools and booster groups focus on a segment, education foundations allow for the support of all students in the district, thereby expanding the pool of resources available to teachers, administration, and community leaders. All types of organizations are critical for school systems to prosper, and many members of Novi PTOs and other groups actually serve as volunteer for more than one organization. We need additional volunteers who are interested in helping our students. It's a great experience and extremely rewarding. We will be holding monthly Connect with the NEF events starting in February with additional information to come. And the last way they can help is by sponsoring or attending our 14th annual Green Gala, which will be held on March 21st at the Suburban Collection Showplace. It is the largest fundraiser of the year benefiting the students in our district. In case you haven't eaten dinner, Applewood smoked bacon wrapped in brown sugar coated chicken skewers, cheese, fruit, and crudité display as an appetizer, a new combo dinner duet of chicken calabrese with steak, asparagus, roasted potatoes, salad, and rolls for dinner. Finally, chocolate and raspberry mousse for dessert. And new this year is a brand new, great tasting, vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free option. We, of course, will have a silent auction, casino, escape room, an interactive photo mirror, and entertainment provided once again by the Killer Flamingos. The NEF is a 501c3, so all donations and contributions are tax deductible. Imagine, invest, and inspire. Our focus is every student, every single day. So again, on behalf of the students in the district, thank you again, Board of Ed trustees, for you volunteering your time to help the Novi Community School District. I again greatly appreciate all the NEF donors, supporters, and volunteers. Their support truly makes ideas possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. We appreciate you. Any comments around the table?
I'll just say real quick, very exciting news about the grant. I hope it's just one of many to come, but I think it's going to be, it's just a win-win for everybody. So really fantastic. So thanks for the effort of doing that. I'm sure there's other grants out there probably that exist that we don't even know about yet. So bravo, I'm excited.
Anyone else? Mr. Smith?
I also want to recognize, I see at least 3 trustees in the audience. The president of the Novi Educational Foundation, Chris Harpenoff, puts in hours and hours and hours of work behind the scenes and leading the organization. And trustees Audra and Tia Marie have also done the same thing. You should see Audra the night of the Green Gala. One year our centerpieces weren't quite up to snuff, and she got involved with that. And I think we've all heard Tia Maria speak about her efforts with Feed the Need in running the after-school program at the library, but she still finds time to contribute as one of the vice presidents with the Novi Educational Foundation as well. So it's a heck of a team that I've come to love and respect and continue to support. So thank you guys.
And I would just like to say thank you to Mr. Smith for being such a wonderful leader to this group. We have another Mr. Smith who sits at our table, and he really encourages our board to get connected. And we've talked about, he's a wonderful liaison, and talked about having board members alternate and attend meetings so that we can just continue to collaborate with you and bring this, the dollars directly into the classroom. So thank you for everything that you all do. And I encourage everybody to attend the Green Gala and every other thing that the NAF is putting forward for opportunities for us to be connected to our students. So thank you. Next, we have comments from the audience related to agenda items. If we have any comments from the audience, please fill out a green card and hand it to Mrs. Holly. You can walk up to the podium and introduce yourself. This is only when it's related to agenda items. I see some talking going on back there. There will be another opportunity for comments from the audience related to anything to our purview. So
Probably pretty quickly, too.
yeah. Very quickly, probably 5 minutes would be your opportunity. So, all right, seeing no one come to the podium, next on the agenda is the consent items. Consent items are those previously considered by the board in committee or in prior meeting. They're of routine nature. Board members may request that any item be removed from the consent calendar for further discussion. So tonight, the consent items are approval of the minutes. We have the work session meeting minutes of December 19th, the regular meeting minutes of January 9th, work session meeting minutes of January 11th. We have section B, which is the approval of bills, the board report, check register for November 1 through November 30th of 19, purchase card statement for October 1st, 2019 through October 31st of 2019, board report, check register for December 1, 2019 through December 31, 19, and purchase card statements November 1, 2019 through November 30th, 2019. So if we can get a motion to approve the consent items. Yes, Mr. Renner.
We're working on peripheral.
I know, I'm gonna put some glasses.
I move that we approve consent items A and B as presented.
I'll support.
Recommended by Mr. Mena and supported by Mrs. Roney. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Alrighty. Next up, we have our action items. We have our personnel recommendation. Dr. Kinzer?
Thank you. Tonight we have recommendations for 5 new hires as well as 1 resignation. First, our new hires. Emily Evo, English Language Arts teacher at Novi Middle School. Kristen Natio, psychologist. Sherry Wolke, English Language Arts and broadcast teacher at Novi High School. Laura Dyroff, special education parapro at Village Oaks Elementary School. And Samantha Jadoin, a special education parapro at the high school. And we have one resignation, Kimberly Clark, administrative assistant in special education here at ESB.
Thank you, Dr. Pinzer. Do we have a motion to accept Mr. Cook?
I move that the Novi Community School District Board of Education adopts the personnel report recommendations as presented.
Do we have support?
Support.
Moved by Mr. Cook, supported by Mrs. Murphy. Any discussion? All those,
Just
question? Yeah.
fantastic that you managed to find a broadcast teacher so quickly. I didn't see that. That was like added on after, was it?
So, yes, so we had to do some rushing to get all of our work done in HR in time for tonight. So we do apologize for the late additions, but we were scrambling this week to get everything done this week because we're ready for these people to start.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just glad to see. I thought it might be a difficult position to fill, given the last kind of go around with it. So I'm glad to see that there's going to be somebody in it because we've had a long-term sub, I think, for a while, haven't we?
Not too long, but a
Not
little
too
while.
long.
Yeah.
She's been for a little while, so. Okay, fantastic. Glad to see that on there.
Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? Motion carries 7-0. Now, next up, we have our opportunity for comments from the audience.
I think this is a first.
What did this board has been so quiet?
I'm filled with anticipation at
I
this
know,
point.
I know. Wow.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Samhita Volusetti, and I'm a junior at Novi High School. Recently, this past sophomore year, I have taken a class called AP Environmental Science, and it has really made me learn about this concept called composting, which now I incorporate in my daily life and wish to incorporate in the second grade classrooms throughout the school district. This involves Parkview and Deerfield and all of the other schools at the district, and it will be involving teaching composting to the kids and how important it is for the environment. This happens by educating the kids on how to compost, how to do it, and the benefits of it. I would also have guest speakers to come in to give more information than I can for specific lessons. It'll be a hands-on activity where the kids will be able to take food scraps from snack time or from the cafeteria and bring it to their classroom where they can have their own composting sites. It would also be turned into a competition where the classroom that creates the compost the fastest will win a pizza/a donut party. This program would be taken course over a course of 2 to 3 months, and preferably starting around March. In March, I will come in 2 to 3 times a week and be able to give a lesson plan for the kids, do slide presentations, give them word search, and also ultimately do a hands-on activity. I'd also have some guest speakers come in, as I mentioned before, and they would also be able to explain further information that I'm not available to. And then through April through May, the kids will also be involved in the composting hands-on, and since it fits in directly with the second grade curriculum, they'll be able to use the bugs that they already use during science class and incorporate into composting themselves. This composting site will be taken outside of the school's building, or it would be close to the classroom. It would be completed at the two gardens at Parkview and Deerfield Elementary so far, and it'll be used during the spring to create healthy soil on both of the properties. This composting program is mainly to educate the kids at a young age and what they need to do for the environment. It starts with creating the fertile soil that will be vital to grow fresh flowers, fruits, and vegetables. It teaches kids how to reduce food waste and also reduce the amount of greenhouse gases, which will in turn affect how the air is right now. It'll also help create fresh and healthier produce by eliminating the use of harmful chemical fertilizers. This program will be structured where I come in twice a month, as I mentioned before, to supervise and see how the compost project is doing. I will also be coming in to make sure that the right amount of food scraps goes into the composting, and to make sure that the kids are having fun and the program is running smoothly in general. The kids will have a brown paper bag in their classroom or their lunch, and they will put their food scraps in it. To ensure the right materials are in the bag, the lunch monitors or the teachers will be able to coach the kids which items go in the bag, as well as having a poster in the classroom showing the do's and don'ts about what goes in the composting. Then the kids will take the paper bags and put it near the composting site in their classroom or near the cafeteria. And this will happen about every day for a week for 1 or 2 weeks. And for the compost to actually become soil or humus in general, it'll take about 2 to 3 weeks. And the classroom that finishes it the fastest will be able to win a pizza or donut party, which will be a nice incentive for them. What I will need from the schools is to have some classroom time out of their day for 8 days throughout the month, and it'll only require about 30 days, which will work perfectly well for the second grade classrooms since they already work with bugs and the earth. And I would also need teachers to supervise the correct food waste that goes in the composting bin. Lastly, I'll need to talk with the teachers, inform them of the process about what's going on, and it'll require a sufficient amount of support from the schools for the program to be successful. Lastly, I feel that I'm very passionate about composting since my class last year. I've personally incorporated it into my own home, and I feel it'll be a big part of the community in the future, as it's very important and it might be uneducated in our community, but by teaching children about the environmental responsibilities, it'll carry on with them for the rest of their lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all that information, and I encourage you to talk to Dr. Weber and use him as a resource for this project.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty. Next up, we have the acting superintendent's report. Mrs. Minnick?
Thank you, Dr. Ruskin. First, let me express that it is quite an honor and my pleasure to be filling in for Dr. Matthews and Dr. Weber this evening. I'm sure they are representing Novi schools and the Novi community well at the MASA conference this week. But just a few things to fill you in on. First, the state held its semi-annual Consensus Revenue Estimating Conference on Friday, January 10th. Both the state's general fund general purpose and the school aid fund both show stronger than anticipated revenue growth for this year as well as for the next 2 following years at a slower rate, just some slow but steady growth. These additional revenues could make for a very nice per pupil increase next year. However, there are questions on the expenditure side of the ledger that could put pressure on the school aid fund, including such things as the roads. The governor is expected to release the executive budget on February 6th, and so we may get a glimpse into her proposal for how to fix the roads. Also, the school aid fund revenues, those projections include a large revenue earmark from income tax from a bill that has not yet been approved by the House or the Senate, but it is expected to be enacted yet this year. If it lies dormant, then it would certainly have a negative effect on school funding. And of course, retirement costs are always a question. So hopefully, the House and the Senate will release their budget proposals, perhaps in March, sometime after the executive budget is released, and then we will be able to better estimate and plan for our fiscal year 21 revenues. Secondly, we successfully implemented a new online open enrollment benefit system this past fall for our employees to elect their 2020 health benefits. Our previous carrier was getting out of that business, so we had to make that switch. Sheila McDonald, our benefits supervisor, led that initiative and spent many hours on the system implementation and loading data. And so I want to thank her for her hard work and exemplary customer service to assist our employees in that transition. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here and sitting in and
My pleasure.
leading through.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, we have our administrative reports. Do you have anything, Dr. Kinzer?
I do.
Oh.
So, first of all, as January is Board Member Recognition Month, I do want to take this opportunity to thank our trustees. I don't believe that many members of the community recognize how much work is involved to be a prepared, engaged board member like all of our trustees are. So every other Friday when the board book is released prior to a meeting, there are hundreds of pages of reading, and it says a lot about our community that we have such strong trustees. So thank you for all that you do. And then second, I do want to also note that our fourth Mentee Monday of the year is a week from Monday on February 3rd. We will be focusing on professional responsibilities of teachers, as well as the responsibility we all have to share the successes that happen in all of our classrooms. So George Sipple will join me in sharing that message with our mentees. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, next we have board communication. You want to have anything? Mrs. Murphy?
Mrs. Hood and I attended the MLK Unity in the Community presentation that some of our kids were involved in on Monday. And, you know, again, it's not a well-attended day, and it was very cold out, but it was I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry. Do you want to take a
So, as usual, excuse me, and I'm going to cough. So, as usual, that night was filled with talented kids and really a positive message across the evening. One of the things that I liked the best, which was at the end, is every year they have a keynote speaker, and this year's keynote speaker was Jennifer Crawford, and she started her own business in Detroit. And she said two things. I'm inclined to embrace simple messages because that's about all I can handle is just a simple message. And she said that something what contributed to her success, and I think anyone who listened to her would agree that she is a successful, really cool lady. And she said two things. She said, do your work and manage your fear. And I was thinking about just that evening, you know, our kids, they get up on stage and they play the piano and sing a song that they wrote, and they're up there doing it. And then there were little girls dancing. So that's just a small piece of, you know, manage your fear. I used to get really nervous just talking into this microphone, and you learn to do that. So anyway, I took away that message from that night. I really liked it from a keynote.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah.
It's always an underattended
yeah.
event that really can have a big impact on those
Yeah.
that are there. So it was good to go.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Thanks for representing. Anyone else? Mr. Cook? No, you just look like you might, but you're not sure, so I'm just gonna
Well,
go ahead.
you know, when with the presentation we sat through with the composting, I noticed another member sitting in the audience who is, I don't know if I can call her a closet entomologist. She's because she's got very large paper wasp nest hanging in her classroom. And during the fun run over at Parkview, you will see her feeding the yellow jackets off her hand. So, but she perked up and she was very happy about that, and I'm sure she will be helping out in any way she can with any bugs that she can come up with.
Collaboration at its finest, right? Mrs. Hood?
I actually had two other things. One was I attended the I never remember, OCSBA, Oakland County School Boards Association dinner last week, and you have a little announcement that you'll read, or a little thank you that you'll read from them. And it was at one of the tech centers up in Pontiac, and the kids prepared and fed us dinner. It was delightful. There were no Novi kids there. They were from Clarkston, I think Walled Lake. Anyway, a very nice evening and a nice facility. So that was one thing. And then as our student was talking about the AP Environmental Science, it brought back memories. My son took that class, and I remember him coming home and talking about the things that he learned. One of the items was composting, but it also made him a recycling fiend. And when he was a senior at Michigan State, his apartment complex did not have any recycling. So every break, he would come home with a Chevy Malibu full of empty milk cartons and just fill our recycling bins at home. And he would just put them out in his car. Anyway, so it was he loved the class, and I think it's great that we engage our kids and really make them concerned about the earth around them, environment. So that's all. Thank you.
Nice, thank you. Mr. Mendoza?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to mention that not this coming weekend, but February 1st is the big fundraiser for the band and color guard take place at the high school February 1st. I think this year they have 10 different schools participating in percussion and over 40 schools coming in to participate in color guard. So that's pretty exciting because it is their big fundraiser this time of year. So that's great.
Great, thank you. Mr. Smith?
I guess one thing I'd say is to thank Chartwells and Evolve for putting out some tasty morsels. I had a chocolate covered strawberry, and there was something that was like a brownie that had coffee in it. It was very delicious. So thank you, Evolve and Chartwells. Maybe our audience members can help by eating something on the way out, and then maybe we can sell the rest tomorrow at the coffee shop in the library and give the proceeds to the NEF. I'm looking in my planner because I don't remember if somebody can help me. Saturday, March 7th is the Novi Youth Association Bowl-a-thon. I know we still have room for bowlers. It's really easy to be a corporate lane sponsor or a corporate sponsor. So you can go to the Novi Youth Association website and look more for information on that. But that's again Saturday, March 7th from 12 to 3 at Novi Bowl. That's it.
Thank you. You good?
Yeah, no, I just know we had talked about getting a team together
Right.
for bowling. I'm really good at cheering people on.
Okay. We'll make sure we get an email
could
out
be
to
one
find out who
cheerleader.
wants to
You
Yeah,
go.
could be good at coordinating. I'm a good bowler. I can bowl,
All right, I'll bowl
believe it
too.
or not.
I'll bowl.
What, like a 5-pound ball?
You wait.
Is it, how many, is it like?
Usually
three?
it's 4 or 5.
On a team,
Oh,
Four or
on a
five
team.
on a
on
team.
a lane, right?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
how many games do you?
Usually 3.
See, I'm good for the first, maybe the second, third.
It's a fundraiser, so I'm sure they'll take whatever you have
Is
to
it-
offer.
I'm,
You know what, Marion? If you coordinate it, we'll bowl for you.
okay.
Yeah.
You can, and maybe you can be like a.
I can be the runner. You want to pop? I'll go get one.
Okay, I love
That's
it.
great.
Okay,
Perfect. Okay.
look at that. We got a team.
All
Okay,
right.
Willie's in, Bobby's in,
I think I'm in too.
Danielle's in.
I'm not a
Okay.
good bowler.
It'll just be us girls.
Unfortunately, I have my own team I'm trying to get together.
Oh, well.
Wow.
We'll be
Okay, on that note,
I'll challenge you guys.
Wait, do we have any other bowlers that,
Well, they said we
The
did.
good news is it's usually me and my 3 kids, so we're not hard to beat.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right,
expect a
next-
team from the board.
Yes, the board will have a team.
Look at that.
So, as Kathy mentioned, Oakland County School Boards Association has gifted each member on our board a little luggage tag, and they would like us to read the Dear Board of Education, this month of January marks the observance of School Board Recognition Month. Your Board of Education performs a vital role in ensuring the success of every student. Please accept a token of appreciation from the Oakland County School Boards Association. Thank you for serving your students in the community. Sincerely, the OCBA Board of Directors. And we appreciate them for all they do because they also are serving in a capacity that is, you know, at more of a regional level. So thank you to them if they're watching, and if they're not, you can tell them thank you.
I will.
Okay, great. And I think seeing nothing else. Oh,
I was waiting to
Mr.
see if you
Tuck.
were going to mention something, but the Above and Beyond Award,
Yes.
the nominations for that are still open, and I would encourage parents to nominate bus drivers in particular, because they spend a lot of time with those kids, and they do wonderful things for those kids, getting them to and from school.
Could you explain again what that is?
Do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the Novi Special Education Parent Advisory Committee has started, I think this is the third or fourth annual Above and Beyond Award. So anybody can nominate a staff member, a student, anyone who's a stakeholder in the Novi Community School District who has truly gone above and beyond to help a student or student and their family with special needs here in our district. So the group takes the nominations and reads through them, and they will select a winner, but every single person that is nominated is recognized. The group provides the nomination that they received to each of the nominees so that they can hear what kind of impact they're making in the community and directly to the students and families. So it's a really great opportunity to say thank you to someone who has made a difference in a kid's life here in Novi. So I believe that the deadline was last week, but it has been extended, so.
It's usually the case.
It is. And it's not due to not receiving nominations. I think as of last Wednesday, a week ago Wednesday's meeting that the group had, we had about 36 nominations. So we had a hearty number, but we always like to make sure that we're not forgetting anybody.
And typically, if the nomination comes in after the deadline, they're still recognized.
Right.
So-
I think that the group will be getting together in mid-February before their next meeting to review the nominations and to make some final selections. So thanks for bringing that up. Okay. That being said, we will adjourn the meeting. Oh, roll. Oh, goodness. Sorry. That's my second meeting. Do we have support? Okay.
Oh, did we already motion? I support.
Okay. Motion from Mr. Mena, support from Mrs. Hood. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
All righty.
To adjourn, you don't.